Welcome to Happiness is a Healthier Habit with me, Jackie Poole, where we chat about mom, life stuff, weight loss, habits, and everything in between. And as mothers and women, we can do anything. The Super Bowl was just a few weeks ago, and I don't know about you, but there was so much hype for me, at least for the halftime show. I love Rihanna. I love her beauty brand. I have all the foundations. I have the matchsticks. I have her eyeliner. I have her matte lipsticks. I have it all. And her being up there represented so much more than just a performance. The top of my head, I can remember Katy Perry, J-Lo, Shakira. They did a very great show, very extravagant, all the different things, the pole dancing. And I felt like Rihanna kept it very classy, very neutral. We found out she was pregnant afterwards, and it was just an amazing show. She broke records. She's pregnant. She has, a 9-month son, and she was not thinking of what people were going to say. She was very focused in the meaning of this performance, but also I felt like it represented a lot for women out there, doing all the things, working, hustling, working on ourselves. And with that being said, there is also time where you see all of this going on and all of this work, hint, Rihanna. And it can be taken to the opposite, to an extreme. For example, we can exercise extremely, we can watch TV extremely, we can be overeating. Anything can be overly done. And where I'm going with this today is sometimes we just want to escape our reality. There is new research that explains that exercise can become very addictive, and people may be using it as a way to escape. So it's defined as a habitual diversion of the mind, and it could be an activity or entertainment. And it usually is to escape from our own reality or our own life. And I'm going here because while exercise in general is recognized as very beneficial, it definitely helps boost your mood, with making you feel like you can do more when you're done exercising. I feel like there's this high sometimes that you get, feeling rushed. When you're done exercising, you actually get more energy, which is funny because people will think that they might feel tired and drained afterwards, but it's completely the opposite of that. When you get a really good workout, whether it's running, whether it's strength training, even when you don't want to do those things, it really builds resilience in times that you don't want to move. And when you decide that you're going to do something, even when you don't, you're telling yourself that you're capable of anything. And again, there is so many great things that come with exercise, and I am such an advocate for that. Is one of the essential things that you should actually get done in the morning before your day gets started, because it's just so many good things, so many good endorphins, so many good feelings. You get energy. But doing a lot of good things can be turned into bad, like anything else, really. For example, if you drink too much water, an excessive amount of water, it can be very damaging to your body. It can disrupt your body's electrolyte balance. It actually has a term. You can have like water toxicity, and your body begins to not function properly. So there is a very fine line between having me time, and escaping the life that you are living. Personally, years ago, when things were rough in our marriage, at one point, I decided to go back to work after my son turned 1. I started working at this pediatric clinic as a front staff, and I got a full-time job, and it was perfect because it was right next to the 24-hour fitness. And at that time, the gym was open literally 24 hours. So I was working out at the gym before I would go to work. During my breaks, like I would go for a 30-minute run or a quick strength training and hit the sauna. And I was actually teaching Zumba classes in the evenings. So I would teach classes, but I would also go to the classes. So I was doing 3-4 hours of exercising a day at times. So at that point, I was very unhappy where my relationship was with my husband. We were financially unstable. We were living with my parents, which, if you guys know me or know us, I've loved living with my parents. I can't believe how easy it was for me to start my own podcast. Buzzsprout was so helpful, and it gets your show listed in every major podcast platform. You'll get a great looking podcast website, auto players that you can drop into other websites, detailed analytics to see how people are listening, shows to promote your episodes, and so much more. Podcasting isn't hard when you have the right partners, and Buzzsprout was definitely a great choice. I have a referral link so you can receive $20 off Buzzsprout credit. So if you're looking to get started on your podcast, please click on the referral link below. Okay, I talk a lot about collagen here, and I've tried several powders, different brands, and nothing really compares to the technology of liquid biocell. This goes way beyond your typical regular collagen. It has a very unique single source matrix of highly absorbable type 2 collagen peptides, hyaluronic acid, chondroitin sulfate, which are clinically proven to change the way you age. Benefits that you get from the inside out: it supports your joints for a more active lifestyle and truly restores youthful skin, increasing your own collagen and hyaluronic acid. This liquid biocell is an award-winning, multi-patent, and actually collagen that your body recognizes. With clinically proven bioavailability, the liquid biocell delivers unparalleled results backed by multiple double-blinded, randomized, placebo-controlled human clinical trials. In these trials, liquid biocell increased hyaluronic acid levels by 6,000% in just 28 days, reducing wrinkles from the inside out. I have a referral link in the show notes, and you can get $10 off your first order. So take advantage of that, and now back to the show. Live with us, we've lived with them, and it's not that we didn't want to live with them, but we have this newborn, and we lived all in one tiny room. My brother lived with us, and it was my parents. And I think at that time, it would have done us good to have our own space. And I just really was in a place where I really felt hopeless. And even though it looked like I was healthy and it seemed like I had it all together, I remember people would praise me. I was at my lowest. I think then I had hit like 120 pounds, and Everybody's congratulating me. How are you doing it? How do you have the energy to work out? And all of these praises that came with the what I was doing, because to the outside we're a very visual society, and I was looking great. I was very fit. I had lost, at that point 50 pounds, and actually, I was using exercise as a form to escape what was going on in my relationship, what was going on financially, how unhappy I was with myself. And I was just ignoring what was going on. So, in this study that I mentioned earlier, they have repeatedly found that escapism comes in two forms. So one way is that is facilitating like positive emotions through engaging in the activity. So like the definition that they gave it was self-expansion. And so that is actually having a connection with yourself, a relationship with yourself that brings improvement through your concept, your motivation, your beliefs that are actually creating positive changes for the better, and you're more capable of doing more things at that time. Now, there's this other side of it when you go about suppressing disturbing thoughts and emotions with the activity, and is actually stopping yourself from thinking or feeling what you're going through. So you're basically just avoiding or confronting what is going on in your home, in your life. And with everything that I felt at that point in my life, exercise was just a really great way to escape. It seemed like easier than not dealing with my emotions, than not dealing with my situations. But at the same time, it actually made things worse. What was going on in my life? At that point, I hated the job that I got into. That was not a very pleasant job. I was not happy with what I was doing either. So I think that added even more stress to what was already going on in my life. And because I was not dealing with it, not having conversations, sometimes we would go days without talking, me and my spouse. So it created more arguments, more tension, and we weren't solving anything. Things were actually getting worse. So if you are avoiding the feelings, if you are just ignoring whatever is coming up in your internal surroundings, and you keep bottling up these bad feelings, these behaviors, and just pushing everything under the rug, and things keep surfing up, and you just keep ignoring it, it can definitely bring a opposite effect and cause you to ignore all of these things. And it's really quite learning how to express yourself with what actually is going on, like having those hard conversations, because after having those hard conversations, things get better, and not holding things inside. Because when you retain all of those thoughts and all of those emotions and those negative beliefs and anger, they can definitely manifest in other ways that are actually more harmful, not just to your health, but to yourself and to the relationships around you. And sometimes, to be honest, you don't know how to express yourself. You might not have the support that you might need. You don't know who to talk to about your situations, or you don't think it's a big deal at the time. And again, if you keep brushing whatever is going on in your life, then things could definitely get a lot worse. And in my situation, they did. And, addiction can come in all forms of ways until we decide to acknowledge our emotions, be mindful of what we're feeling, and having that connection with our our inner self is so crucial. Life is such an undecided thrill that not knowing what the future holds, what our past has brought us, what we have to deal in the present can make a lot of impact in our present. But there is ways to learn how to deal with this. And so one of the ways that I suggest, and I actually did this a few years ago when I see myself struggling, is invest in yourself, whether it's talking to somebody professionally, like a therapist, a coach, definitely someone that can help you improve whatever you are trying to fix or figure out, because bringing other perspectives that are not your loved ones can definitely bring a new type of a strategy that you can implement in your life that you might not be seeing at the moment. So investing in that is definitely, I remember a few years ago, I think after I had my third son, our insurance covered therapy. So I actually had like a therapist for 3-4 months, and I would meet up with him like every 2 weeks and just kind of talk of what was going through my phone. So I found that very comfortable. I think the copay was like $30 every session, which was perfect. My insurance covered it, and that was really easy. And I feel like it did help me while I was using it. Another way that could be beneficial, and this is something that I don't do as much, but I think I should be doing, and I think it would be so helpful just to journal your feelings and emotions, which when you write things down, you're reading it, you're acknowledging, your brain is seeing you write that, you're acknowledging those emotions, which makes you become more aware of them. Sometimes they can hold us and unconsciously you don't even know, and they can be manifesting in things like I mentioned, you're over exercising, you're watching endless TV, you don't feel like doing anything, you begin to overeat or oversnack, and slowly you start developing these unhealthy habits. And so journaling is a great way to just kind of dump all of those thoughts and feelings into paper and just kind of take them out of your chest. Something that could also be impacting you is maybe a lack of self-esteem, maybe some lack of financial or economical issues can definitely impact our world. And we have to change the stories we tell ourselves and how we can impact a better view of ourselves. So, changing those stories, creating plans to actually deal with the current situations instead of just dwelling on, I can't believe this is happening, I can't believe what I'm going through. Instead of having that story that I can't believe is happening, then maybe working on things and plan things out of things that you can do to better the situation. Make a list, write it down, have a conversation with whatever your spouse, whoever is there as support if you have somebody. There's so many things that you can do, but always try to not stick to those stories and change your perspective and view on what is going on. Something that I find very easy to do and find myself doing quite a bit is focusing on things for me to do, like hobbies. So I'm a stay-at-home mom. I do this podcast. I had a couple of clients last year. And so my time is spent home, and sometimes we get into these routines of doing the same thing every day in your schedule. And sometimes you need something different. So there's where hobbies come in. And, there's so many things that you can do. For example, I love gardening and trying to grow plants. Right now I have some bell peppers growing. I have a couple of small lemon trees. I have some dragon fruits, things that you take care of that don't really require attention, but it's nice to give them time and effort because you are making something. So that is something that helped me cope with certain things. And it's just another way, a healthy way to interact with other living things that make you feel good and just helps you cope with whatever is going on in your life. And so thank you for listening. And those are just some tips on what we can do as we grow and learn, because we are women, we are moms that have all of these things going on, and literally we can do it all, but at what cost? And so these are just some ways that we can improve our mental health and do things the right way, the healthy way, and continue to give the best of ourselves. Are you trying to lose weight? Are you trying to build muscle? Are you having a hard time finding the time to get that done, to get the exercising done, to eat the right foods? Do you have all of this information and don't know what to do with it? Well, that's what coaching is for. I'm a nutrition coach, and if you are finally decided that you want to make a change in your life, then you need to schedule a call with me at JackiePools.com. That discovery call is a simple Zoom call where we talk about your goals, what you want to do, and how I can help you get there and maintain that lifestyle and that body that you want. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm glad you got to listen to this episode and hope you got a lot of value from it. And if you have not subscribed to my newsletter, please do so at my website, JackiePools.com, where you get weight loss tips, you get recipes, you get daily life stuff, motivation, and it's just another way for us to stay connected. Can't wait to chat with you next time. Bye.